two. It's day 3 of our writing. I can't wait to write all about Grandma Kranky's appearance with you today. Let's see what's in store. Session 3. How do brilliant writers write a character description? We're going to do our warm-up by spelling some of those words that end in EL, making the OOL sound today. We're going to have a look at some character descriptions, and then we're going to write a title and potentially an introduction, and the first paragraph all about Grandma Kranky's appearance. Let's check you've got what you need. Have you got a pencil, some paper, and your brain? If you need to get any of those things, put me on pause now. Let's get started. Let's remind ourselves of our spelling rule from yesterday. We knew that sometimes we use the spelling EL, making the OOL sound at the end of the word. This happens after the letters M, N, R, V, and W, and also our special friends sh, ch, f, and qua. Sometimes it's also used after a vowel as well. This should help you with your spellings today. So on the board, you can see we've got some pictures, and there's a blank space underneath them. What I would like you to do on your whiteboard or in your book is write the correct spellings. You're going to need to have a look at what you've written to see if it looks right, because some may be alternative graphemes. So the first word I would like you to spell is camel. Camel. You might want to use your thread fingers. Ooh. But don't just put an all at the end. What does it need to be, everybody? You're right, EL. Your next word I'd like you to spell is squirrel. Squirrel. Sound it out if you need to. Check if it looks right. There could be some letters in here that could catch you out. But the most important thing is think what goes at the end. Your next word is tunnel. Tunnel. Wonder how many N's it's got in that word. What looks right? Tunnel. Your next word to write down is tinsel. I like to hang tinsel up at Christmas. Tinsel. Write the word tinsel. If I'm going too fast at any point, put me on pause. Your next word is towel. Towel. Can you write the word towel? That's a pretty pink towel. And your last word today is channel. Channel. I'm going to change the channel. Channel. You should have 6 super spellings ready to check on your whiteboard or on your piece of paper. If you're still finishing off, put me on pause, but we're going to move on to check them now. So here goes. Our first word was camel, squirrel, tunnel, tinsel, towel, and channel. Don't worry if you've made any mistakes. Just change the spelling or write it correctly next to it. If you'd like to do some more practicing of your spelling with the EL, OOL spelling at the end of words, you could use this website below, and it's a fun game for you to play. So let's move on now and look at how brilliant writers write a character description. First of all, it's really important that we know what a character description is. It's a piece of writing that describes a person or something from a book, and it gives you detail about what they look like, their appearance, their personality, and their likes and dislikes. I've got an example here of a character description on the Gruffalo, which is describing what he looks like and how other animals are scared of him. Okay, and that's just an example to say that we can do it on any kind of character that we'd like to, as long as we are describing them. Today, though, we are going to be writing a character description on Grandma Cranky, and it's absolutely fine to use ideas that I give you or ideas from the book. This is a bit of a practice this week, ready for writing your own character description next week on somebody else. So let's have a look at breaking down a character description. As you can see on the screen, a character description begins with a title. It lets you know who the person is. So it gives the reader a good clue to what they're going to be reading about. Then it's followed by a short introduction, so we get a feel for what the character's going to be like. So the title for this one was Grandma Cranky, and the introduction said, "Who's the meanest lady you can think of? I bet she's not as grouchy, grizzly, and grumpy as Grandma Cranky." So we know already from the introduction that she's not going to be a nice lady. As you can see, there's a subheading here which says appearance, and that's what somebody looks like. It's followed by a series of sentences describing her appearance. Let's read it now. Grandma Cranky is the ugliest old lady you will ever see. Her wrinkled, baggy skin is see-through, and it hangs off her knobbly knees and spindly legs. If you look closely, Grandma Cranky has pale brown teeth that are stained from drinking too much cold tea. Her hair is dry like straw, and it is as dark as the night sky. How disgusting she is. You may have noticed I've tried to use lots of different sentence types in this. Then we miss a line and we're moving on to a new paragraph. Again, we have that subheading and it says personality. That's what the kind of person is like inside, what kind of person they are. This ancient woman is an evil grouch that upsets anyone she comes across. She is always moaning, saying, "Get this and do that and stop it." Would you like to live with a woman like this? I don't think so. So again, there we've got a question and we've got some examples of commands as well. Again, we're missing a line and we're moving on to our next subheading, which says likes and dislikes. It's all the things that Grandma Cranky likes and dislikes. So this one says, Grandma Cranky hates most things. Laughter, fun, and games all make her miserable because she doesn't like anyone being happy. How mean is that? Believe it or not, Grandma Cranky does love some things in the world. She is selfish, so loves a sugary cup of tea on her own. Yucky bugs and cabbage soup are also her favourite. Then at the end, we're going to end with a conclusion. And it says, in my opinion, Grandma Cranky is the most unpleasant, nastiest person to walk this earth. I hope you never have to meet her. So that rounds up our character description and finishes it off. We are going to be writing this across the whole of this week. We'll be doing a paragraph at a time. So today we are going to be writing our character description about Grandma Cranky. We're going to begin by writing the title and the introduction. So we know that the title we're all going to write is Grandma Cranky. Okay, so I'm just going to turn around now onto my board. I know I'm very small, but I'm only going to write Grandma Cranky. And I'd like you to do that at the same time with me. So, capital G, R, A, N, C, Grandma, M, A. Then I need another capital K for Kranky, because that's her surname. Kranky. So already we have got our title, Grandma Cranky. But we need now to think about our introduction. As you can see here on the screen, I've got some different examples for you. Now, if you only want to do the One Chili Challenge, don't worry about writing an introduction today. Just do the title. You can see Grandma Cranky is there if you need to copy it. If you would like to have a go at writing an introduction, which would be fab, I've given you some sentence starters to help you. So for 2 chili challenge today, it says Grandma Kranky is, and you can finish the sentence, or let me tell you all about, or most grandmothers are. If you fancy doing a free chili challenge, you might want to start it with a question. Have you heard of? Did you know there is? Did you realise that? Or maybe she's, and you can list things using your commas. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now so you can see me, and we are going to write an introduction together. I'm going to magpie one of those sentence starters that we just saw from the screen. I'm going to say most grandmas are. And I remember reading that in the story, don't you? Let's have a go at writing it on the board. Most grandmas are. Now, what do you think? Most grandmas are, well, they're kind and caring and sweet, aren't they? So I think that's how I'm going to finish it. Most grandmas are kind, caring, and sweet. I'm going to keep saying it to myself so I don't forget it. Most grandmas are kind, caring, and sweet. Now, I know every sentence starts with a capital letter. So I'm going to do a lovely tall capital M. Most, one of our new red words here, M-O-S-T. Most grandmas. Grandmas. Are. We had kind. That's another one of our red words. K-I-N-D. Kind. K-I-N-D. Now, because it's a list, I've got 3 things here. I'm going to need to use a comma. Most grandmas are kind, caring, and sweet. Eat. Now, I could put a full stop, but I want to use a conjunction because we were using loads of amazing conjunctions last half term, weren't we? I'm going to use the conjunction but. Most grandmas are kind, sweet, and caring, but not this one. But, put my finger space in, not this one. Now I have finished my sentence, so what do I need, everybody? You're right, a full stop. Let's read it back and check it makes sense. Most grandmas are kind, caring, and sweet, but not this one. I'm going to finish that there because the introduction only needs to be short. What I would like you to do is write your introduction now. I'm going to share the screen again so you can see the sentence starters. Pick one, say your sentence out loud, and then have a go at writing it in your book. If you want to use mine as a little bit of a help, that's absolutely fine. Pop me on pause and press play when you're ready to carry on to write our first paragraph. Okay, welcome back everybody. We are going to be writing our first paragraph now, all about appearance. So that's what Grandma Kranky looks like. We can get a lot of our ideas from the text. I remember reading about how tiny she was and how short her legs were, and also about her bright, wicked little eyes. This was one line I remember from the book that could help you describe her appearance. It says, George couldn't help disliking Grandma. She was a selfish, grumpy old woman. She had pale brown teeth and a small, puckered up mouth, like a dog's bottom. You've also done lots of work looking at Grandma's appearance when we were looking at possessive apostrophes. You could go back and look at that work to help you come up with your ideas. It might be worth putting this picture on pause for a minute and studying the picture, looking at her face, her nose, her chin, her mouth, her knees, and thinking what adjectives you can use to describe them. We just don't want small or big. Can you think of some more interesting words? Maybe knobbly knees or grimacing face. See what interesting words you can think of. So, for example, you could use tiny staring eyes. In the book, it said wicked, which was super adjective, wasn't it? Maybe she's got a crooked back, clawed fingers, a long pointy nose, bony arms, wrinkled hands, a stretched neck like an ostrich. That's a simile. We've looked at those before. It'd be great if you could use some of those in your work. And a puckered up mouth like a dog's bottom. Oh, I wonder if you'll use that. And pale brown teeth. These are all ideas you could use in your sentences. If you want to come back to this screen in a minute, you could use this to help you write your sentences. This was the paragraph that we had from the original character description. It said, appearance. Grandma Kranky is the ugliest old lady you will ever see. Grandma's wrinkly, baggy skin is see-through and it hangs off her knobbly knees and spindly legs. If you look closely, Grandma Kranky has pale brown teeth that are stained from drinking too much cold tea. Her hair is dry like straw and it is dark as a night sky. How disgusting she is! Exclamation sentence on the end. Wouldn't it be great if you could use that? Now, I'm going to stop this one for a second and we're going to have a go at writing the next paragraph. I know I need to miss a line now and write the subheading appearance. So you can write this in your book as well. A, P, P, E, A, R for appear and A, N, C, E. Have you got that in your book too? Well done if you have. Now, I need to think of my first sentence for my appearance paragraph. I'm trying to use all of those amazing things we've learned this week and last half term. I'm going to try and use a possessive apostrophe first today. I'm going to say Grandma's appearance is not one of a nice old lady, because we normally think of nice old ladies as being all happy and jolly, don't we, like it said in the book, but not this one. So Grandma's appearance is not one of a nice old lady. Let's write that down. I need my, you've got it, capital letter. Grandma. Now, I know you're telling me this, it's her appearance, so we need that possessive apostrophe. It's like a flying comma in the air, isn't it? Grandma's, and I can copy appearance from there, that's a long word, isn't it? Grandma's appearance is not, hold on, I can contract those. I'm going to make that easier for myself. I'm going to put isn't. Grandma's appearance isn't one, O-N-E, of a nice or splitty. Oh, and then I've got things in the list. I need a comma. Old lady. I'm going to go on now to say what she looks like. Now, my favourite line, I wonder if you liked it too, was how her mouth was puckered up like a dog's bottom. That even had a possessive apostrophe in it too. Winner. Let's write it down. So, her mouth is puckered up like a dog's bottom. Her mouth is puckered up like a dog's bottom. Let's put our capital letter. Her mouth. Oh, let's use my fretboard. Ow, shout it out. Oh, I need to go to a new page now. Her mouth is puckered. Okay, let's write it down. Two curves. Puckered up like a dog's. Oh, it belongs to the dog. So I need my apostrophe. Bottom. The or. Her mouth is puckered up like a dog's bottom. I'm going to full stop it there. I'm really pleased that I got to use another one of my possessive apostrophes today. I'm going to talk about her hands now. Oh, they looked all bony, didn't they? So I might say, her hands are so wrinkled and bony. Let's say that together. Her hands are so wrinkled and bony. Got to make sure I've got 7 words. Capital letter at the start. Her hands. Look how tall I'm making my letters. Are so wrinkled. Now we did this, didn't we, last time? It's a what and a r making that sound. Wrinkled and bony. And then I wonder what that makes her look like. Her hands are so wrinkled and bony. Makes her look like a skeleton, doesn't it? Her hands are so wrinkled and bony. So she looks like a skeleton. Full stop. Now, if she looks like a skeleton, that's a bit creepy, isn't it? I'm going to use an exclamation sentence on the end. How creepy she looks. How creepy she looks. How creepy she looks. Remember, to be that exclamation sentence, it has to have how or what at the start and the exclamation mark at the end. Let's read our paragraph back through and check it makes sense. Appearance, our subheading. Grandma's appearance isn't one of a nice old lady. Her mouth is puckered up like a dog's bottom. Her hands are so wrinkled and bony. So she looks like, I might take that out. Her hands are wrinkled and bony, so she looks like a skeleton. That makes more sense. How creep she looks. Is that what we want to write? No. How creepy she looks. Well done. We need to add our Y. Well done for going back to check our work and making sure it makes sense. So it's going to be your turn now to write your next paragraph. You should have already written appearance as the subheading. If you haven't, write that now. If you would like to do the 1 chili challenge for this paragraph, just write 3 sentences about what Grandma Kranky looks like. I'd like you to use capital letters, finger spaces, and full stops. If you fancy doing the 2 chili challenge, I would like you to describe Grandma's appearance. Can you use commas in the list and possessive apostrophes? If you could use some conjunctions as well, I would be super proud. And for our free chili challenge, I would like you to describe Grandma's appearance, use commas in the list, possessive apostrophes, and conjunctions. And for a super duper challenge, can you use a simile and an exclamation sentence as well? I bet you can. I'm going to just move the screen back now, if it will move, to this. So if you want to put this on pause to help you with your sentences, you can do so now. If you're ready to get writing, then off you go. Okay, everybody, you should have just finished your work. What I would like you to do just before you finish is to check it. Remember, it's really important to spot our mistakes and also make any additions in that we want to do. You're going to need to read it first. And the first thing I want you to look for are capital letters. Check that every sentence starts with a capital. I'm going to have a look at mine. Yes, there's a capital letter for Grandma's and for my subheading. Yes, there's one there. Have all of yours got capital letters? Well done if they do. How do you think you've done on your finger spaces today? Big smiley face and thumbs up if you've used them neatly. They should reflect the size of your writing, so not be too big or too small. Have you made sure all of your sentences end with the correct punctuation? This may be full stops, exclamation marks, or question marks if you are being super whizzy today. Have you used possessive apostrophes? I used it when I said grandma's appearance and over on this page in dog's bottom. I wonder how you used your possessive apostrophe today. And last of all, if you were doing the free chili challenge, have you definitely included your conjunctions in your writing? I hope so, everybody. Now, tomorrow we will be looking at writing a character description, or a next part, sorry, of the character description, looking at Grandma's personality. I can't wait for you to join me then. Up next for reading, we're going to be looking at the Stormwell in winter. How fantastic to read this lovely book and see what Noi is up to again. Have a lovely rest of the day, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.